This is our home. The sea and land that make up the Bering Strait region provide everything we and generations before us have needed. The Inupiaq, St. Lawrence Island Yupik, and Yupik people have lived here for as long as the walrus and seal have migrated with the ice. Important values such as hard work, sharing, spirituality, and living in harmony with nature have allowed our communities to thrive in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Our ancestors respected and relied on the land and animals. At the core of their values was a strong connection to the Creator and to each other. We have come through a period of rapid cultural change. Today, serious issues of alcoholism, suicide, and unhealthy choices endanger and take the lives of our people. All of us have been touched by these tragedies. Yet among us are many people who, despite the turmoil, lead healthy, productive lives. We spoke with some of them and asked how, despite hard times, they stay on a healthy path. Know who you are and where you come from, some said. Be who you are. They talked about being involved in subsistence lifestyle activities and other traditions of our culture. These healthy activities connect us to our roots. Understanding the importance of family and community and the unique role each of us plays in these groups. Being sober so we can participate fully in community and family life. Alcohol and drugs don't let us develop to our full potential. Learning effective coping skills that help us become stronger as individuals, families, and communities. Let's meet these role models. Jacob Ahwinona was born in 1923 and grew up in White Mountain. He and his wife, Hannah, have been married for over 54 years. As a boy, Jacob enjoyed school but missed many days because his family often moved out into the country for subsistence activities. Still, Jacob was an A student and finished the 8th grade. Jacob's teachers offered to take him outside for high school and college, but Jacob's parents declined.
You know, if I had gone, you wouldn't see me there. I'd make a one-eyed president. Yeah, anybody can do it. You believe in yourself, you can become anything you want.
Jacob put subsistence living first when talking about what makes him a healthy person.
We lived subsistence style of living when I was growing up. They taught us to survive, our parents, our grandparents. Subsistence lifestyle, I'm still living subsistence lifestyle. Even if I worked, I go out and hunt and fish for the food I used to eat, and I still do that. You know, subsistence lifestyle is a healthy living, because you're out in the fresh air, do what you enjoy, you know.
Jacob moved to Nome at 17 to work for gold companies. For many years, he was on the job 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. Though busy, he made time for subsistence activities.
When wife and I raised a family, we took our children. I took time off from work to go subsistence lifestyle, go put fish away for the winter. And we go from here, from Nome, drive over to Council. From there we go to our fish camp, stay there for a month and a half or so, do some fishing, subsistence lifestyle. We take all our children, we taught them I teach them subsistence lifestyle, how to live out, how to survive, and all that. And our traditional values, our family values, traditional values, I taught my children, my grandchildren, and I'm teaching my grandchildren as well. The fish we catch, we share with our neighbors, our families, you know. That's the way we do it when we're growing up. You share and share alike. We take care of the less fortunate when I was growing up. You keep up your subsistence lifestyle, your traditional values. You know who you are, where you come from.
Subsistence activities, traditional values, and lots of hard work are a part of Jacob's daily life.
Heading to the post office. Drop off mail.
They are also part of daily life for Merle and Rona Apassingok. Merle and Rona were raised in Gamble. Merle went to college in Fairbanks, then returned to the village. The two began dating when Merle asked Rona out one night while they were four-wheeling with friends. Their families supported the relationship and eventually arranged a marriage in the traditional St. Lawrence Island way. Merle lived with Rona's family for a year, providing his catch to her family and, according to tradition, helping with daily chores. The Apassingoks find that subsistence activities are part of their very identity. They affirm who they are when fishing, hunting, gathering, and putting away food.
It gets tiring when you stay at home or in the village for a long time, and you get restless if you're not out there.
The Apassingoks travel out of the village each year so their kids can learn about life in other places. They feel it is important that their children can speak both English and St. Lawrence Island Yupik. Likewise, the family enjoys a variety of foods, and the kids help their mom when it's time to put away subsistence foods.
The food from the sea is less expensive, that's for sure, and it's good for you.
There's a lot of foods that we've had in our families, but varieties, is good. Sometimes, you get tired of eating our local foods. You want to try something different. In order to support lifestyle, we have to go, be ourselves out here and be who we are.
Family and community. Another key to healthy living that these role models talked about is honoring family and community. Like each member of a whaling crew, each of us must know and develop our own special gifts so we can play our part building a strong, healthy community. We must help younger people find their place in the community. Merle and Rona have their own family now, but their parents and other relatives remain very important in their lives.
Sometimes I think back, what if I didn't honor my parents or her parents, if she didn't honor her parents? I guess we could have lost out on all that instruction and guidance that they give us early on. When her side of the family experienced something joyful, I'm happy too.
The Apassingoks have learned a lot about keeping their own relationship strong.
Trust each other and respect each other and be honest with each other.
Everything is not going to go smoothly. There's going to be tragedies, in a long relationship you're going to experience a lot of things together, a lot of exciting things, and fun things and very traumatic, sometimes traumatic experiences.
Meet Tom and Beejay Great of White Mountain. They have 4 children. Tom is a reindeer herder. More recently, he and Beejay have poured their energies into a fishing lodge at their camp. The Grays agree that a good relationship takes work.
But, you know, people that are having trouble in marriages, you know, there's no perfect person. There's no perfect situation.
And don't let the little things bother you. The important thing is doing the stuff that we enjoy and focusing on that, and loving each other, and just working at it. It's marriages has to be worked on daily to go on. We're very, very lucky. We're made for each other.
Is this reindeer meat or muskox or what?
Tom and Beejay value and focus on spending time with their children, especially since Beejay learned that she has cancer.
We learned this past couple of years that the time that you have with your kids and people in general, you know, time is short, and you want to make good memories rather than bad memories, and you have to make the most of every moment you have with your family.
Tom and Beejay are teaching their children to work hard, even if, at times, their kids would rather not.
There you go.
The kids help build the family fishing lodge. They help out with the hard work of subsistence.
Hopefully we've put that in our kids, that they go out in the world and at least they can pick up a wrench or a tool or a hammer or something and know that they got to put 8 hours of work in, or 10 hours or whatever. We go seal hunting, we cut dry fish, we pick berries.
Family and community are also very important to Roy Agloinga of White Mountain. After finishing college and working outside for several years, Roy yearned to move home to White Mountain. Taking care of his father and serving as mayor of White Mountain, he is finding more meaning in life and learning more about who he is.
I feel like it's a privilege for me to be here. You know, I think the people here are wonderful. They're very generous, they're kind, and they've given me a lot of respect and a lot of opportunity to help them. I try to stay focused on the positive things in our community. I enjoy, you know, the good things that I see people do. You can always focus on the negatives. You can always find something in someone or in a group of people that is not good. It's so important for us to focus on those things in our communities that are working well and to look at how we can build on them.
Sobriety.
As far as sobriety, I think that it's really critical for people to approach life's problems in a way that is fully aware and where they're conscious. You know, too many times we have people that work in our offices or that are living life and parenting in a way that they're not fully conscious, they're not fully aware. Even if they're sober at the time, they're still having the effects of that last night party or, you know, the last 2 days of smoking pot.
Not using alcohol, it's hard on a person to see your fellow natives abusing alcohol, especially your relatives. My younger brothers died of it. You know, they want me to drink with them. I said, no, that's not where our parents taught us, and I'm not going to drink. You know, I've been called names that I wouldn't even want to mention, because I wouldn't take a drink with my brothers, my relatives, friends that I know, just to take a drink. You know, that hurts, but you win on a long run if you don't drink.
Frieda Tocktoo is a high school student in Breivik Mission. She plans to go to college and wants a career working with kids, possibly as a doctor. For a while, she attended Mount Edgecombe High School in Sitka to learn in a more academic environment. Now she helps tutor and encourage kids in her own village. She doesn't want any part of alcohol and drugs.
I've seen it affect a lot of people's life, and I just don't want to go there, and I don't want to be put in jail, and I don't want to hurt anybody else in the village, because it's obvious. It's here when people get drunk, they try and go after people and hurt one another and stuff, and I don't want to be in that kind of a situation.
Merle Apassingok also grew up around people who were drinking.
A lot of the childhood fears, when I look back, are alcohol related. You know, it's either an uncle or a cousin that was involved. You know, that scared me when I was a child. And I guess it's sometimes those memories that, you know, that scar our minds for a long, long time.
He had his first drink at 26, but never became a regular drinker. Values he was taught by family members while growing up guide his choices.
Because we turned out a lot of offers to, you know, to drink, and people get used to that, and, you know, they don't ask us anymore now, because we don't always oblige.
And it feels good to choose not to drink. You know, you make the right decision, and because you know, who knows what might happen if you drink. And
it's how you're brought up that plays a big factor. Like, you got to have some self-discipline inside of you, and you back that up with your parents' teachings. And obviously, as an individual, as you grow more older and more mature, you know, you get to make your own decisions. But what guides you is early on what your parents instill inside of you, and self-discipline is one of the biggest factors in what you do and what you decide to do in life.
Some of those we look up to as healthy role models in our communities today were once controlled by alcohol. Beejay Gray recalls how alcohol slowly took over her life.
I always thought, you know, when I grew up, I'm never going to drink. Well, that didn't exactly happen after we got married. I started drinking, and I had a really bad experience with alcohol, and almost overdosed with alcohol. And for me to fall the lowest part of my life was good, because it made me aware that, you know, this is not the right path I want to go to. And what made me change was the fact that it scared my children. They were little then. It was really hard to quit, but every time I wanted to quit, my youngest one would remind me, "Oh, Mom, you almost died." And right there and then I would not want to ever touch it again.
Her husband, Tom, found that when he drank, his life lost direction. Since he stopped drinking, Tom enjoys life and his family and friends much more.
When I used to drink, it would be just you live day to day, month to month, drink to drink, and there was no real high expectations. But if you're going to go somewhere in life, you've got to set goals. We have a fishing lodge that we've built. We couldn't have done that if we were drinking, and we when we quit drinking, we basically lost all our friends. They turned their backs on us. But you build a whole new relationship. You build real friendships where you never had it before, I guess. It's a different lifestyle. You have to give up what you think is a lifestyle. You've got to just throw everything out the door and build new. And the waking up and not having to think about, gee, what did I do last night? Where did I go? We don't do that anymore. And it's a good life. You don't have guilty feelings because of actions that you've done. Going on hunting trips or fishing trips or berry picking, it's all clean fun and good fun, positive things that you do, and that's more important than that bottle of booze.
Back to work.
Carl Otten also let alcohol run his life for many years. Carl was raised in St. Michael. He went to auto diesel school in Chicago through a BIA relocation program and became a city bus mechanic. He was drafted in 1965 and spent 2 years at the Panama Canal. He started drinking in the service. At one point, he and his wife were drinking so much that their son was almost taken away. They moved to St. Michael, and Carl got a school maintenance job. Carl's wife eventually quit drinking. Carl serves as the mayor of St. Michael and has always been a hard worker, but his drinking started to get in the way.
And I started drinking where it got out of control. And I was missing a lot of days of work. I had a lot of people pulling for me to quit drinking, but I didn't listen. I said, I'll quit when I'm ready. So I used to go up to Norman drinking with his bars. But then it got out of hand where I'd stay up there the first 1 week, 2 weeks pretty soon, sometimes 3 weeks straight,
Then Carl went to a treatment center in Anchorage for 45 days.
And it worked for a while, but it didn't last long. I went back to drinking.
Then Carl got a jolt. His teenage daughter began drinking.
She told me, Daddy, I'm not going to quit drinking until you quit. And I think that was one of the things that woke me up. So if I continue to drink, I might lose her. I might drink and do something where we have no control over.
He turned to his parish priest for help. He talked to a counselor from Norton Sound Health Corporation. Carl went to Nome for an evaluation and was given medication to help him stop drinking.
And so I started taking them. Hey, pretty soon I just quit. In fact, I didn't even take all the pills. I just made up my mind that's enough. I have my family I have to think of. My mom and dad, they were still alive. So they were happy that I quit. a lot of people were happy, you know, because I was kind of losing respect from some of the elders, some of the sober people that are used to drink but quit, you know.
With the strong support from his family and community, Carl has been sober since March of 2000.
And that don't bother me. I still go look around in the bars when I go to Nome, you know. Go have coffee or pop with the guys I know, you know. It don't bother me to go in there. You know, they ask me if I want to drink. No, I say, no, I'm drinking pop.
Coping. Healthy coping skills are another key to wellness discussed by the role models. We all encounter difficult times in life. How we deal with these challenges can make us stronger people or can lead to more problems. Healthy people in our region have learned effective ways to meet challenges and work through painful issues. Everyone can learn healthy coping strategies.
I just keep myself busy, or I think I just stay home, or I stay at the school and work on my stuff. And it's so easy for me to say no that whenever I get offered it, I'm just like, no, I don't need to do that stuff. So I act as if my dad and mom are standing right behind me, right over my shoulder, so I know if they were really there, I wouldn't do it. Watching TV or playing basketball or talking with my friends or doing schoolwork, just basically keeping myself busy or making sure I have someone to talk to or looking up to or depending on, just so because everybody goes through that. You need someone to look up to and stuff, and that's what I do. I just make sure I have someone I can turn to or do something to keep myself busy or read a book or something. Just relaxing, having fun, just trying to forget about what's stressing you and stuff. There's other things you can turn to other than drugs. My advice for people who want to commit suicide and all that is make sure you talk to somebody before you make your decision, you know, or go to somebody you can trust, talk to them.
You know, every morning I ask myself questions like, you know, what am I grateful for? What are things that make me excited and happy in my life? What is it that I would like to do? I also practice meditation. I mean, I sit quietly for, you know, some people call it prayer, some people call it meditation, but I try to sit quietly for some time every day, usually sometime in the morning and then sometime at night. And that really allows me to have a very centered approach to situations that come up during my work day. One thing that we have here are happy, beautiful, lively children, and one of the ways that I deal with stress is I go out and play with them. Another thing that I do is that, you know, we have world-class ski trails in White Mountain. We have a 10K trail, a 5K trail, and a 2K trail, and I take my skis and my dog and I go out skiing. I also do running both in the winter and the summer. You know, one thing that many people here do that I still enjoy is visiting, just going to people's houses and visiting with them and talking about issues or, you know, blowing off steam. One thing that's even easier to do than any of the things that I've maybe named that is so good is, you know, getting out in the country. It's so calming for me to either take a hike or go for a boat ride or go for a snow machine ride. It's so beautiful here that, you know, you feel absolutely uplifted once you're in the countryside.
If I'm feeling bad about something, I can get in a boat and just go romp on the river or get on a snow machine and go riding and be by myself just to think about things. And, you know, we have projects. I have woodworking projects, working on equipment, those kinds of things. So, you know, you just got to kind of play it by ear, I guess, and just do things you enjoy doing.
Having faced alcoholism and now fighting cancer, Beejay has had to cope with many difficult times. She has grown into a very strong person.
For me, it's been over 10 years that I've been attending church. In church, you know, you gather a lot of strength. But I think where I feel closest to our Creator is at camp. And it's really odd because that's where I feel the closest. And it seemed like it kind of evens everything out, you know, the good and the bad, and able for you to face the unknown. And that's where I draw strength from.
When she's feeling down, Beejay knows what to do.
Talk to Tom or call my best friend and tell her what's going on. One outlet I have is singing, so my family bought me an electric harp, and I love to sing, so when I'm really, really stressed out, I just go find a corner and I sit there with my songbooks and sing until I feel good. And that's a lot of fun. It really helps with me.
And the jacuzzi.
Oh yeah, the jacuzzi. Fill the jacuzzi and go outside and...
Coping can be especially hard when someone close to you passes away, or someone has hurt you, or you are feeling down on yourself.
Get some help. You know, you got your friends in the village, you got your immediate family. And they'll support you, you know. All you have to do is ask for it. You know. If you don't ask, you're not going to get it. When I was growing up, we never heard of suicide, you know. I didn't think we had that problem because, you know, nowadays, you know, the younger generation, I guess I should say, you know, where there's a lot of drugs and alcohol going to the villages, you know, they try to take their problems away by easy way out, you know. You know, that's not the way out, you know. There's all kinds of programs where you can get help. Don't be ashamed of it, you know. We got elders that can listen.
The Apassingoks learned about grief, coping, and healing after their son took his own life in 1999 at age 14. One night, their son was participating in a basketball camp. Then, within 24 hours, the family had laid him to rest at the Gamble Cemetery.
And it was just a total shock. We came back, and me and her and
Cliffy and Pookie.
3 of our kids were on a little love seat like this, and we were just
sitting together.
We were just piled on top of each other, crying and sobbing, and we were all crying. And our youngest at that time, Christina, she was 3. She was 3 years old, and she just kind of corrected her voice. She was crying too, but she corrected her voice and said, "Do good, just do good." And it kind of surprised us hearing that from a 3-year-old. Through thick and thin, you know, we have to try to help our fellow man or help our families. And the toughest part is asking for help. That summer, we did a lot of walking. Psychologically, I remember you were very unstable, and a little thing would if you weren't careful, a little thing would unravel. We did a lot of crying together, and that seemed to help. There were many times of helplessness, on my part, and I guess that's where family and extended family and people that aren't related to us helped us out, gave us an encouraging word.
Trusting in a higher power also helped the Apassingoks get through painful times.
It's real hard to let them go, but you gotta let them go. Trust in the Lord. Just pray that you'll get through this. If you needed to talk to somebody, call a friend or your relative, and if there's no one to talk to, maybe you can talk to God or write to God, and writing down is important too.
God made us to heal. When we're wounded or we get a cut on our hand, we wash the wound and put bandage on it, and that's pretty much all we do. But it heals, it won't heal overnight, but it heals gradually. And God made us that way. When we experienced suicide, we had a big wound in our hearts, and it's like we were cut wide open. It's going to be almost 5 years here, and we have experienced healing.
Each of us is on a unique journey. All of us face difficult times, and sometimes we aren't our best selves. No one is perfect. We make mistakes. We hurt people we love. Sometimes they hurt us. But the people featured in this video teach us that no matter who we are, what we have experienced, each of us has the power to make healthy choices. We can commit ourselves to taking part in subsistence activities that connect us with our roots. We can focus on our families, play active roles in our communities, and support each other. We can refuse to let our lives and decisions be controlled by alcohol or drugs. If substance abuse is a problem in our lives, we can, with help and support from others, take steps to free ourselves. And we can learn healthy ways of coping with life's challenges. The people we have met in this video are our neighbors, our friends, our relatives. They are living by traditional values and making healthy choices. So can each of us.
But people don't understand it's all within everyone. They have the strength to do it. They just need to make up their mind and say, I'm not going to do this no more.
I quit drinking, I don't know how many times. I quit drinking 3 or 4 times. People stumble. Just because you start drinking doesn't mean you failed. You just start all over again. People stumble in life. You just pick up the pieces and go on.
Yeah, anybody can do it. You believe in yourself, you can become anything you want.
Proud, happy people. We used to hunt them every day.
As individuals and as members of families and the broader community, we must take responsibility for nurturing healthy children, families, and communities. No one else can do for us what we must do for ourselves and our future generations. Know where you come from. Be who you are. And working together, we can restore a culture of wellness in our communities.
'Cause we're down, happy people. We're down, happy people. Got so much more to live for. So much more to give. 'Cause we're down, happy people. We're down, happy people. Got so much more to live for.